has been well established in research the negative effects a sedentary lifestyle can have on health, whether it be metabolic, cardiovascular, or physical. Research has shown that a more sedentary lifestyle can lead to type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and an all-cause mortality, according to Park et al. 2020. Factors such as working from home, more screen time with TV, video games, and phones, office jobs, lack of time for exercise, motorized modes of transportation, and a shift to a more technological society for convenience results in overall more sedentary time. Because of how prevalent the issue has become and the known harmful effects, scientists and lawmakers have been working towards a solution that makes physical activity more efficient, effective, and accessible. This is where exercise snacks come in. As the name implies, these are shorter physical activity bouts from 1 to 3 minutes that are done more often that should, theoretically, mirror the effects of a longer session of exercise. These exercises can be done without equipment in any spaces, making them very easy to implement in one's daily life without disrupting their normal routines. Examples include squats, calf raises, knee raises, walking, or stair climbing.
So, what exactly are the effects of activity snacks on metabolic health? The research around this topic is still quite novel, which is why there is still much conflicting evidence. But the evidence we have so far has shown very promising benefits of activity snacks. In a study done by KPE et al. In 2013, it was found that regular physical activity breaks significantly lowered levels of postprandial glucose and insulin concentration. The study consisted of a randomized crossover trial in which all participants were assigned to a random group that had a different order of 3 scenarios, including prolonged sitting, 1 long bout of physical activity with prolonged sitting, and 1 minute 40-second walk every 30 minutes of sitting. Blood samples were collected every hour during the scenarios and after meals. The results showed that activity snacks were effective at reducing postprandial glucose and insulin levels. The study suggests a possible reason why this result is seen is because of increased carbohydrate oxidation or maintaining GLUT4 transporters near the cell surface. Another study done by Rafi et al. In 2020 found that activity snacks reduced postprandial insulin and non-esterified fatty acid or NEFA levels, particularly in obese or overweight individuals. The article consisted of 2 separate randomized crossover studies that took place. The first involved 12 young healthy weight men, and the second included 11 adults who were overweight or obese. Both studies involved 2 conditions. First being the sedentary time condition, which consisted of 9 hours of prolonged sitting. The other condition had stair climbing snacks, which basically included going up 3 flights of stairs at a brisk pace for 15 to 30 seconds once every hour. Blood sampling was done to measure glucose, insulin, and free fatty acid levels. Now, contradictory to the previous study mentioned by KPE et al. In 2013, Rafi et al. In 2020 found that for healthy weight men, there were no significant differences between stair snack groups and sedentary groups for total glucose levels. However, in overweight or obese adults, they found that the stair snacks led to lower total insulin and non-esterified fatty acid or NEFA levels compared to the sedentary group. For reference, Delarue and Magnin in 2007 found that high plasma NEFA levels have been shown to interfere with insulin signaling and lead to insulin resistance. Lastly, the study also talks about how stair climbing snacks were well tolerated by participants based on the study's rate of perceived exertion score. This indicates that activity snacks can be implemented in daily life easily and can help overcome barriers such as lack of time or access to fitness facilities. Therefore, the study implies that particularly for overweight obese adults, activity snacks can be extremely beneficial to metabolic health through lowering postprandial insulin and NEFA levels. However, whether it improves health in already healthy individuals is still up for debate. Now that we've looked at healthy populations and obese or overweight individuals, let's look to another relevant population, those with type 2 diabetes. Dempsey and colleagues in 2017 conducted a study and were able to find that activity snacks were effective at lowering blood glucose throughout the day in individuals with type 2 diabetes. The study involved a randomized crossover trial with different conditions, including the sedentary condition of sitting for the whole 7 hours, the condition in which you perform light intensity walking for 3 minutes every 30 minutes, and lastly, a condition in which you performed simple resistance exercises for 3 minutes every 30 minutes. Examples of exercises performed were bodyweight half squats, calf raises, gluteal contractions, and knee raises. Continuous glucose monitoring was used to measure blood glucose levels. The study found that activity snacks lowered high blood glucose levels in inactive and overweight obese individuals with type 2 diabetes for up to 22 hours. Of note, not only was this maintained in the lab, but during free living periods, sleeping periods, and all the way up until the morning. Lastly, another metabolic benefit found was that in both walking and resistance exercise groups, venous glucose concentrations lowered in spite of lower insulin and C-peptide concentrations. Now, because glucose concentrations lowered despite insulin secretion decreasing, this indicates that either insulin sensitivity is enhanced or there is a greater use of contraction-mediated glucose disposal. These results are incredibly important for individuals with type 2 diabetes, specifically because it displays the benefits that activity snacks can have and the effects of activity snacks like lowering blood glucose and possibly enhancing insulin sensitivity, which of course would be of great benefit to individuals with type 2 diabetes as it can help them manage the disease.
As previously mentioned, one of the main benefits of activity snacks is it can be built into our routine without much disruption of daily life. For those reasons, it is recommended that medical health experts and exercise professionals encourage their patients to engage in activity snacks of about 1 to 3 minutes of any physical activity that they prefer every 30 minutes to an hour, depending on their schedule. This is a way to break up prolonged sitting. Particularly for individuals with obesity or type 2 diabetes, these types of exercises can improve their health outcomes. Based on the previously mentioned articles, exercises such as stair climbing, walking, and resistance exercises such as bodyweight half squats, calf raises, gluteal contractions, and knee raises have been shown to have benefits on metabolic health. These recommendations do not mean that doing these activities should replace longer bouts of physical activity that they might have built into their schedule. Rather, it is a way to prevent long bouts of sedentary time and a great way to introduce any physical activity to individuals who don't regularly participate in any exercise.